Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with CricketSong. And today, my guest co-host is the familiar and very much missed ObsidianFire.
Hey.
Yay, she's here, everybody.
Like I'm any kind of star, you know.
You are. I miss talking with you.
Yeah,
Seriously.
me too.
And I'm sure people have asked when you were coming back and everything. So I'm not the only one that's missed chatting with you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Thank
So
you. And thank you.
What time is it over there? It's like 8 o'clock at night or something?
No, it's 10 p.m.
Oh, it's 10.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys do daylight? You did daylight savings time, what, last week?
You
don't even know. Yeah, I know. Seriously. Actually, it says it in my calendar. Let me see. It was last. No, it wasn't.
No. It was
the week before.
And the week before, I think.
Oh, I can't even find it. I know it's in here somewhere because I'm like, oh yeah, look at daylight savings time. Oh yeah, it was a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. It was the last time. I think it was before the last time we met and did a live stream.
And the last time I was working this.
That's right.
But today I didn't work, so I am less tired than I was last time.
Good. Well, this is good. Yes, she is back, Shadow Sun. Hello, everyone in chat. Grengar666, love the name. Shadow Sun, HLV. HLV. What does that stand for, HLV?
I don't know.
Happy love. I don't know what. Valentine. I don't know. Victory. Anyway. So yeah. Hopefully I can get her back again. So we're
we will plan something. The only problem is there is two problems. The fact that I took a part-time job, so I'm not available at the moment I used to be, and there is this time difference thing that we have to deal with, and it's always difficult.
Yeah, I kind of. Oh, it's your initials. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like this 1 o'clock in the afternoon time
on Saturday. It's nice.
For me, it works nice. I know we don't get a lot of views when it's live, but we do get a lot of people watch the playback. So it's kind of like, what do we do? Do we do the live in the afternoon where we'll have a small audience and a lot of views, or do we want to do it later for at least the United States so that we have more live? I don't know, but
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. We will try different things, and at the end, I'm sure we're gonna pick one.
So today we're going to talk about witchcraft as a religion. And what spurred my thoughts on this is not only thinking about the topics that I've written about in my book. Here I'm going to plug my book, Becoming Witch, Back to Basics. Yeah. And I talk about deities and such, and still, reestablishing my own solid foundation and thinking about different things, and especially in regards to deity within a witchcraft practice. Thorn Mooney did a video a few weeks ago discussing this topic as well. And when I should have linked it, but I forgot. I will. When we're done here, in the description here on this video, I'll put a link to her video discussing this topic. But it really got me really even thinking more in depth of the the topic of deity within witchcraft. So I wanted to discuss it. I wanted to get ObsidianFire's perspective on this and at least give you all something to consider. And I guess for Thorn, it started when she was having a discussion with someone else. And she said, and I would have to agree with her, a lot of times, this was from discussing Wicca. So we're going to kind of flow into Wicca for a minute.
Okay.
She had said that when discussing Wicca and witchcraft, a lot of times people say Wicca is the spirituality, witchcraft is the practice. However, she was discussing how Wicca and witchcraft are sort of not exactly the same thing, but you sort of wouldn't have Wicca if you didn't also have witchcraft. Like Gardner wasn't discussing Wicca was a spirituality. It was the spirituality and the witchcraft together that made it Wicca.
Yeah.
Now, as we go forward, we see a lot of people practicing traditional witchcraft or folk witchcraft or Strega witchcraft. So not all witchcraft is Wicca, right?
Sure.
And I've had friends who have said that they're atheistic witches, meaning that they don't believe in any sort of God, but they still practice witchcraft. So this leads me to this whole consideration. When people suggest that witchcraft is their religion, what is it that they're talking about, as opposed to someone who might say, I'm a pagan witch, or someone who says, I'm a traditional witch? Where does the line of religion meet witchcraft, or is there a line? Can someone practice witchcraft and is it their religion? I mean, this is what I got to thinking. What do you think?
Well, in my understanding, I don't view religion in terms of practices, or it's more not a point of view, but it's about dogma. A religion for me can be anything that in its construction leads you very tightly on one single road. It's more about the vision it gonna give you about your life. It's more this way I see a religion. Like when you don't eat or certain things because it's your religion tells you shouldn't. This is clearly this is a thing from a religion. Someone or some book tells you how you should act in any form it takes, anywhere. This is kind of the way I spot religious behavior or religion in general. So for me, practicing something or not, like witchcraft, it doesn't enter the math at all.
So what would you think if someone were to tell you that witchcraft is their religion?
Well, I would then either listen to what they have to say about that, listen how they express their feeling that this is a religion, and I would then decide for myself, this sounds like they are into a religion, or no, to me it doesn't sound like that. Or I would ask question to try to understand, like, do you have to do some things or do not do some things in your view, about witchcraft? Is there like tight rituals, like
Right.
in Wicca has some of this?
I'm looking up the definition of religion. I wanted to have some definitions set aside, but the way this morning went, it wasn't happening. You know. So if
Yeah,
I look at
I
the
know.
definition of religion, right, it says the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. It also says a particular system of faith and worship and a pursuit or interest in which someone ascribes supreme importance. So it seems like religion definitely has a belief in and a worship of some sort of God or force
Yeah,
outside of humanity.
I was about to be very cynical. It's always easier for a group of people or one person at the beginning to pretend that they are acting in the name of some kind of superpower to initiate fear.
Right.
Religion, almost all the time, are based on fear.
Yeah, I would agree the major world religions, but I mean, I'm not sure. I couldn't say all religions do that because I'm sure there are religions out there that I'm not familiar with. That
So, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But the,
But when
the
I think
main,
of the majority, I guess maybe even the Abrahamic religions seem to use fear.
yep,
Um, but I guess what really like makes me question or makes me consider that someone might look at witchcraft and consider it their religion is when we really come to deity. I mean, I think it really depends on how the witch views and understands deity or that controlling force or universal source or the gods. I mean, if an individual, if a witch worships or believes in or communes with a particular pantheon or has a specific matron or patron, and that is the focus of their practice, if they're a devotee of Breed or a devotee of Isis or Hecate or the Morgan or a pantheon, maybe they only worship or work with, or their witchcraft is dedicated to the Greek gods. This is the only pantheon they believe in. So I guess it really, for me, it comes
yeah,
down to how they view deity. One of the isms, are they, do they view it as a polyistic, or are they polyistic witch? Are they a monotheistic witch? Or where do they come from? What is
yeah,
their perspective? Because
yeah,
if I just look at the definition of religion, being that they believe in and worship something, a god, something more than human, something that has a greater understanding and perspective, and they have a particular practice or the way that they do things in their specific witchcraft. If they're, and I think I go back to Wicca having specific rituals that they hold on specific days. On the sabbats they have the wheel of the year, they have a calendar, they do specific rituals, they cast circle in a specific way. I could see, I'm not this, I could understand the perspective of why they might consider witchcraft their religion. What do you guys think in chat? Oh, here we go. We do have people saying stuff. I didn't think we did, but we do. Grengar says most mainstream religions leads to conformity, to being and thinking the same. whereas witchcraft, there's no right way. Religion tends to be rigidly structured. I would agree, but again, I'm going to look at a specific tradition within witchcraft.
Well, Wicca sounds pretty much like a religion. That's why I didn't find any affinity with it, because I dislike religion pretty much. So I agree, Wicca sounds like a religion, like Santeria could be, or voodoo could be, or hoodoo in a certain way too. So this has part, bigger or smaller part, of a religion thing, religious foundations. But I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if witchcraft is a religion. I would stick to the fact this is a part of their religion, as well as, you know, going to church. Going to church isn't a religion; it's a part of a religion. Well, in my understanding, witchcraft is, in those specific cases, part of, but it's not the religion. I don't know if I'm clear enough.
I understand. I do. I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to, like I said, this has been something I've been thinking about, because I have been someone who has said, Wicca is your spirituality, witchcraft is your practice.
Yeah.
Christianity is your spirituality, but you can be a witch. Witchcraft is your practice. But in really
shift mass for the witchcraft.
What?
You can switch going to church to going to your altar. It's pretty much the same.
Right. Yeah.
With the audience, and that's the same.
Right. I guess it's just, I can see someone, and so then, and how it's going through, why I associated it with what I wrote about in my book is because I've gone through a transition where I was someone who had specific gods that I worshiped, and gods that I communed with, and gods that I believed in, and gods that I worked with, and within my witchcraft practice. And I considered myself a priestess of these gods because it was very much my spirituality as well as my practice. So in that sense, I couldn't separate. I could not say witchcraft is just my practice, because it included the worship and the believe in and the way that I worshiped and communed with these particular gods that I worked with. There was a structure. There was a way I was supposed to do things and when I was supposed to do them, to where I am now, where there is no particular god or goddess that I work with. I work with more of a grander or larger or more vast energy, the primordial masculine and feminine. But I still believe in these forces. I still worship these forces. I still commune with these forces. So if someone were to ask, what is my spirituality or what is my religion? Witchcraft.
Yeah. Well,
so this is where I am.
I would answer paganism at the question, what's your spirituality? Paganism, not witchcraft.
Is it? Well, let's look up what paganism says. Because I mean, I have said that too. I'm pagan. But let us see what paganism says. Well, paganism is a word first used by the Christians to describe people who practice polytheism or ethnic religions other than Judaism. The sanctity of earth and nature. Yeah, I don't know. And I guess, paganism, because it's sort of like, oh, you're not Christian, you're pagan. Paganism can include other forms of spirituality. So it's almost like this greater term. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else people say. HLV. I think it's a very personal and different to each person. What works for one does not mean it will work for other beings. I think we all have our walks and destination. Yes. So we will walk with different faith, beliefs, spirits, or gods. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, thinking out loud. That's exactly what I'm doing, too. Part of the practice. So Grengar does think witchcraft is part of the practice or part of the religion. Shadow Sun, I honestly think it depends on the type of witchcraft tradition and the person. I think it depends on how you define deity in and outside of polytheism. Correct. Yes, I agree. Oh, hey, Jasmine. Is there structure in witchcraft? There can be. Yes, if you choose.
If you choose to. I so agree with that. That's why I'm sticking to my own view, because I'm stubborn. First, and because I took a great amount of time in my life to consider cult, religion, spirituality, and I came to my own understanding of those sometimes fine lines who divides all of this. I don't think the way you view God or gods define if you are or not into a religion. For me, once again, a religion is a very human thing. It's designed by human to control human. And that's the way I look at it. Anything that go further than that, any kind of structure who allows you to be free, isn't a religion anymore. It's a spirituality. In my own understanding, of course.
So from your perspective, then, if we go back to what the ancients practiced, or as far back, so Greek or Roman, if they had that is or isn't a religion.
It is not. It is not. It's more. It was like very opportunist thing. They one time worship this god because they need this thing, and then they go to worship this other one because they needed something different. So to me, it doesn't sound like any kind of religion. It was.
What about when I don't know too much. I mean, I only know very basics about Egyptian, the ancient Egyptians. I know that it was part of their life. I mean, they couldn't separate it. It was how they lived.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, but again, the way they lived at the time was way different than we do, so it's always difficult to understand or to express something not definitive, but we are not there anymore. We know just what archaeologists and everything else has bring back to life for us, but there is always something missing. So I think, like like in Wicca, let's say, there is a part of Wiccan who gonna feel like they are into a religion, and they're gonna follow the lines really tightly. And there are others who kind of be more, flowing and
Yeah. Well,
less
I mean,
into it.
right. And I guess, I mean, it depends on if you belong to a coven, because even if it's not a Wiccan coven and you're part of a witchcraft coven, there still may be ways in which you circle and ways in which you do certain things. And there could be rules that are set or guidelines that you're set, but you wouldn't consider that a religion, would you? Even though there are lines and ways that they're setting forth. It's not just the fact that there are rules to follow. There's more for you as a religion, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that makes sense. So I just want to make sure it's not just like the rules that
No, it's
there's-
the fact that you're gonna have to think this particular way.
okay.
The fact that it's gonna define all your life or a bigger part of your life, and gonna tell you what you can and cannot do, even
Right.
if you don't think that's right. But you're gonna have to do it anyway, because if you don't, then you wouldn't be considered a part of this or this or this religion. You know, this kind of strict walls around you.
Like a doctrine, a strict doctrine that
Yeah.
is to be followed. Um, Jasmine, I'm also sure that Hellenism was used in politics to control and incite
I
fear.
was I
Yeah.
was thinking that when I read the Hellenism is a religion. Yes, it was, because it was used to something, but then we can enter the fact that at some point, to name a specific figure of Hellenism, at a point in time, Hecate was turned into a more devilish goddess, because she was stealing too much light from other gods who had bigger temple, and so priests, and so they it's Christianity all over again, or I would say before Christianity.
Right.
Hey, what are you doing? So they turn it into a more darker force in order to make some space, because she was bringing too much worshiper for their taste. So, yeah, it's a religion in a sense that it was used
So,
by men, but
right.
now it's not so much.
So in Brengar said in Japan, they believe there is a God governing many aspects in life and nature. Is that not a religion, just a system of beliefs? Well, I think from Obsidian's point of view, if what I'm trying to say, bullet points, religion, there's definitely doctrine or guidelines or rules. There is, ways and things that you believe in and ways in which you practice the religion. But I think the basic of what ObsidianFire is suggesting, correct me if I'm wrong, that religion uses fear to control.
Yes.
And that's the basic. There's a set of rules, there's ways in which you practice, but it's all underlining with a fear. If you don't do X, then Y is the consequence. And it's not a positive consequence, usually.
No, most of the time
And I
not.
guess she also suggested that it's controlled by people, human beings are the ones, the priests or the leaders or whatever their title is, high pupa of, whatever, is the one who has connection to the higher power and is either a manifestation of that powerful deity or it's my cat. In controlling the masses, I think, is the idea.
So that's the point.
In Japan, if there are these points, there is this doctrine that they must follow and this way in which they must practice their spiritual beliefs, then I think that might be the determination as to whether it's a religion or not.
Well, again, it's my own point of view.
Right. This is her point of view. Yes.
Yeah.
She's not saying this is the be all end all definition.
No, of course not. This is my understanding because I had my own thing to deal with that made me well, I don't like religion.
She said that at the beginning, that she did not like religion. Just so you all know, if you're joining late, yeah. She did say that.
Yeah. That doesn't mean I don't like people who consider themselves religious. This is right. Not the same thing. I've met a lot of very interesting and spiritual people who are into religion. I don't like the religion, but I do like the state of mind of those people. This right. is not the same thing for me. Right. It's very separated in my mind. The religion is the system. Right. But the people aren't the system.
So what do you all in chat, and some of you did join us later, the idea that we're sort of hashing out is witchcraft a religion, or can witchcraft can it be perceived as a religion? If you meet someone and they say, you know, hi, it'd be weird if people came up and said this.
Hi, my religion
is Christianity. My religion is my religion is Judaism. My religion is I'm a Muslim. My religion my religion is Hinduism. What would you think, or would you ever consider witchcraft being a religion? I suggested that perhaps and I don't know. I think for me, it would depend on how the individual views deity. What is their view of deity? Because I have friends who say they're atheistic, but they're a witch. But then I have other friends who suggest that, you know, their religion is witchcraft. Obsidian suggested maybe, you know, from her perspective, maybe they're actually pagan, but maybe they're not. Maybe I don't. Again, it comes down to, for me, what is your perspective of deity? How do you view deity? If you view deity at all. So I don't know.
Well, why not? But then I would personally consider, do you fear your deity or do you not? If you do not, in my own understanding, then it won't be a religion. It would be a spirituality. It's just
I don't know, because
your own understanding of
things. So let me. This is thinking aloud, everyone. Thinking aloud. So if I take your question, right, and I think, do I fear? So I don't have a specific deity, but I would then insert primordial feminine and primordial masculine energy being deity. Do I fear these forces? The ego part of self, you know, the mortal part of my being. Fuck yeah, I fear these forces. They're greater than me. They're more powerful than me. They fucking scare the shit out of me sometimes. But do I personally consider my witchcraft a religion? I wouldn't. If someone were to ask what is your religion, I wouldn't say witchcraft. I would say I'm pagan, unless they press more and they ask more. But that's the easy answer, you know. I'm pagan. So I don't know, but I sometimes those forces scare the living shit out of me, for sure.
Yeah, but do you act every day like you are in fear of being struck by their
I
power.
think it depends on what I'm doing. Oh shit!
Respect and fear. Know that.
Yeah, but even when I was, well, all the shades, the 50 shades of Christianity, I was not literally 50 shades, but there was many shades of Christianity in there.
Like that. That's great.
Thank you. Oh, I miss talking to you.
Me too.
Some of them, when I was part of some of them, I was fearful of being condemned, but some of them I was not. I wasn't afraid. My relationship with the deity of that particular brand or flavor of Christianity didn't make me fearful. So but it was a religion. From the outside perspective, you look at it and it was clearly a religion. I don't know. See, this is why this is a nice topic for my brain to chew on.
Yes, because it's complicated nowadays. It is because we not we personally, but the human race as a whole made it difficult. What's I mean, look at the past. All the religious war we had and we still have. It doesn't sound great, and this those are the biggest thing, but there is like small invisible crisis because of religion everywhere in the world. So I've seen in the chat, like diagonally, um, someone was saying it's kind of sad that religion has become like a dark word to use or a dark concept. I agree. It's sad. It's sad. But it's true.
Yeah.
It's just the facts. Humans made stupid shits over religion, and they continue to do so.
Yeah, it's true.
It's on us to shift that into the brighter, peaceful feeling that we would like to have by hearing religion. It's on us to shift that, but we are not close to it.
Right.
We are not.
Betwixt and between says, for me, it comes down to the individual and how they as an individual see it. And I have no desire to define it for them. Right. Shadow Sun, I think the definition of religion is completely twisted. The connotations is changing into something quite negative over time.
That's true.
HLV says, I never say that I'm in a religion. I always have a spiritual lifestyle, but I'm not part of a religion.
Same.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Anything, and Jasmine had said, I believe anything can be a religion. I agree. I agree.
Even video game. Yeah. Let's start our temple.
Yes. What religion do you belong to? I belong to RPGism.
Okay.
How about you? I'm not a priest. I'm a ranger. I'm not a priest. I'm a tank.
I'm a druid.
A druid. Right now, what am I right now? I am a Malay person, basically, right now.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. Yes. I'm trying to think. So, I mean, isn't that more like Druidism, Lord of the Rings? Well,
Oh, it sounds pretty much like, any kind of polytheistic system that we had. There
Mm.
is a bunch of superior gods and minor forces, and it
Oh,
sounds pretty
yeah.
much pagan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The game I'm playing right now is pagan. Clearly, that was me. It's my nephew pinging me.
I was
Wait.
wondering, what's that?
Speaking of the video game that I am playing, he's just asking if I'm going to be playing tonight.
Apex.
We keep it in the family, right?
Yeah.
Temple of Apex. Oh, specifically on Xbox. Dancing naked. My son is a loyal follower of the Temple of Apex. I'm a loyal follower, right? No, a newly converted, is it? Newly converted of Conan Exiles.
Oh, shotgun.
That's where I am right now. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, and in my book, another selfish plug,
This is
one
not
of the
selfish.
first chapters I do talk about, deity and the gods. The gods is chapter 3. And I do talk about looking at your relationship with deity and trying to, even if it's just for yourself, defining yourself where the gods play in your role in do they, and how does deity, spirits, and energies play a role within your own craft? Because like I was suggesting, for me, it's different from before to now. And I think that's a natural progression as we develop as human beings.
Yep.
And as witches, that over time our relationships with divine source or not will shift and change over time as we practice our craft.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, we are meant to evolve, so it's logical for these changes to happen.
And I
They should.
definitely can see if someone has a negative experience with one of the very well-known world religions out there.
Or something alike, any kind
Mhm.
of cult,
Right.
most of the time is based on those difficult
Yeah.
system, like a religious system,
Mm.
you know, bring fear in order to control. It's the base of the cult,
Yeah.
whatever cult it is,
Yeah.
even if it's called a religion.
Right.
Because,
I think a lot of cults, and I'm just speaking out of my, I didn't do any research, but my instinct, tells me that a lot of cults will be based in some sort of spiritual beliefs.
yep,
Um, because I think that's we don't have proof of spirituality, like concrete physical proof in a very broad sense. I mean, I personally may have enough proof for me, but I mean, it's not like scientific proof, right? And I think spirituality deals with a lot of our emotions and a lot of our feelings and a lot of that, and then faith and hope. I mean, if you can give someone hope, you really can have power over
yeah.
them.
Hmm.
And I think that's why a lot of cults tend to be rooted in some sort of religious or
Yes,
spiritual thing.
yes. I've seen the last comment of Gengar 666 is very interesting, and I
Which
agree
one?
on that. Yes, this one. It's true also that religion almost always, or let's say most of the time, um, like you cannot, if you listen to them, you cannot exchange with your deity directly. You have to go to someone who has the ability or has received the power to talk, exchange with the deity that you worship. Why? And that's something also that we can find in most of the bigger monotheistic or not so monotheistic religion.
Although I was part of a religion that was a Christian religion that said you could have a personal relationship with the Abrahamic God. And there
Nice.
were no priests in the organization. There were more knowledgeable individuals, like they had been studying scripture for longer, and they were seen and voted into that leadership position by the congregation as teachers for the rest. But nobody ever claimed to be a priest. No one ever claimed to have the ear of God. We all had the ear of God. So even cultish things may not.
That's a progress. That's a progress.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because no. No. They just took the power to be the priest and sort of hit it like,
What? Sorry, I didn't.
It was, huh?
I didn't understand the last couple words you said.
This particular religion sort of took the power of the priest and just kind of muted it, so you didn't really realize it was the organization that had the ear of God, not anybody else. Yeah. So I don't know. It's still, and they still ruled by fear anyways.
And scripture.
Mm-hmm.
This is, it's like the silver lining. You can see what's a modern religion by, pulling on those lines and see what comes. If something falls, that it's a religion. in my understanding, in my point of view.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. There clearly we don't have all the answers, but I guess looking at I guess what I really think when I think about witchcraft as a religion, I think it really comes down to saying witchcraft is more than just a practice. I think for witches, there's more than just.
It's a way of life.
Yes, there's more than just it's something I do.
It's more.
Yeah.
It's more than that, but I would not personally
call it a religion.
I'm not religious. I hope I'm spiritual, but I'm not into a religion because it's ever changing.
Yeah.
I decide for myself what I think is okay and what I think is not. There is no one telling me what I should think. It's out of, basics, respect and empathy and all of these things, but it's not a religion. It's not in my way, which doesn't prevent me to have strong beliefs.
Right.
But it's beliefs. Again, it's my own first. I don't expect anyone to follow it because it's mine. And again, it's belief. It's not a religion. It's faith. Yes. but it's not a religion. Once again, not
Yeah.
for me, at least. But again, it depends on what do we personally, each of us, what do we put behind the word religion? Once you answer this, then you can, you know, set up your mind. This is a religion for me. This is not. This is this or that. Because it's a very personal thing. The problem is religion has become something very not personal at all. It's like those strict lines and system, and so it depends on what it is for you,
Mm.
as it
Yeah.
always is what
Right.
it is for you.
And I do think, it would be interesting to talk to someone who's had a positive experience within a religion, but left for whatever reason, just maybe it wasn't fitting with their lifestyle anymore. Like they didn't have trauma when they left a religion. They just sort of floated away from it and became a witch. And I'd be interested it would be really interesting to talk to someone like that who might then perceive their witchcraft as a religion, because I think for many of us witches, we've had some sort of trauma attached to some sort of organized religion, which is why we tended to shy away from it,
Yep.
because we had negative experiences. And I'm curious to see what a positive experience in a religion, but they still left and started practicing witchcraft. What
I agree.
that transition, I'd be interested in their perspective.
Yeah,
So if anybody stumbles upon this video and happens to watch it and you identify as someone who was involved in some major, a religion that the majority of the world recognizes that's a religion, and you now find yourself in witchcraft, and didn't have trauma in that religion,
yes,
we'd like to talk to you. We'd like to pick your brain and see why you might.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like just to listen and see
why they consider witchcraft a religion.
Yep.
I'm interested in that. I would be curious to know and have that discussion. We have about 5 minutes left. Any last thoughts or comments in regards to witchcraft as a religion? I think we all agree that witchcraft is more than just a practice. It's not just something you do. I always say witch is something you are, not just something you do. But yeah, I don't tend to label witchcraft a religion myself, but I can understand someone who might.
Of course, it's easy to understand why, because there is, or at least we can suppose there is, strong beliefs behind the practice of witchcraft, and for the witches who are working with deities, so there is also respect and maybe some kind of worship, and so I can totally understand why someone would choose the word religion for it. I totally don't mean that I agree with it, but I can understand. I can understand why. It's easy to understand why. That's another problem, that why would it have to be a religion if there is belief, faith, worship? Why can it be just spirituality or way of life? We can reverse the question. Why?
Yeah, I think when you look at the definition of religion and how we meaning the general, the population, have defined, so if we look up world religions, right? Let me look at this. World religions, we're going to get a list of the major world religions. Major religious groups. And there's, how they classify something as a religion. What defines a religion? Folk religion is listed. Folk religion. What do they define under folk religion?
You're gonna fall into the rabbit hole.
Folk religion encompasses.
Don't follow the white rabbit.
folk culture dimensions of religion. Oh, it's like folklore. So folk Christianity, folk Islam, folk Judaism, folk Hinduism, Chinese folk religion. That's what they're classifying it. So it almost sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. Oh yeah, Spiritism is a religion. Hey, it's in France, apparently.
Yeah.
I did. It's founded in France. I didn't realize that. Look at that. Yeah. Those spiritualists.
Yep.
The White Rabbit, yes. Okay, so yeah. Next time I'm supposed to be streaming. When's my next streaming date? Oh, that's right. It would be the week that I'm going away. So not doing it that week. So the next date, it's going to be a few weeks, people. Sorry. Maybe I'll do a spontaneous live at some point, but the next scheduled date is Saturday, the 29th at 1 p.m. Not sure who I'm going to be talking to, but yeah, the week I would normally be doing it, my husband and I are going away for our anniversary. Hey.
Hey.
So we're going to go have some grown-up alone time. And in case you didn't know, selfish plug again. I wrote a book, Becoming Witch, Back to the Basics. Not a very long book, but it's a book. It's available on Amazon. Go check it out. More projects in the future tied to that book. And I want to thank all of you who have already purchased the book and have reached out and talked to me in person. Reviews are greatly appreciated on Amazon, even if you just put, a star rating and don't write anything. Writing something like, hey, this was a wonderful book, or hey, this book helped me, or hey, if you are interested, read this book, or something like that. Very helpful. It gets me listed. It affects where it shows up on Amazon. So if you read it, and even if you didn't like it, even if you hated it, please review it, because even that counts towards my rank on Amazon. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. And don't forget, tune in on the 29th. Make sure you've subscribed to my channel and you hit the bell notification so you know when I go live or when I upload content. Isn't that what everybody says in their videos?
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh, yay. Thank you. Oh, can you order an autographed book? Yes, you can go to my website. Actually, send me an email and we can work something out, because I had them listed, but I don't carry them because they're print to order. So you can send me an email and we can work something out. This is what I meant to say. Dancing Naked liked my book, read it and reread it. I'll make sure I leave a review. Thank you. I totally appreciate that. And we want to see ObsidianFire again on the show.
Are you sure?
Yes. We're going to try to schedule something. Hello, Sharon.
Just to learn not so good speaking French woman. Are you sure?
Yes, we do. Anyway, thank you all.
At least I didn't swear too much.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah. It was a progress.
I don't have an outro. No.
You don't have what?
Yeah. I thought I had one.
Yeah.
I guess not. I thought I did. I don't see it. Maybe it got deleted. Who the heck knows? But anyways, thank you,
Okay,
everybody.
so that's our outro.
That's our outro.
Bye.
Love you. Blessed be everyone. See you next time.
Thank you all. Bye.